Hi everyone, this is Callie. Thanks so much for being here with me today. I'm excited to share today's gingerbread house card. I am die cutting a lot and ink blending a lot, but I'm also adding little tips and tricks here and there to add interest to your card. So I hope you'll enjoy watching this process. So here are the dies that I'm going to be using today. We need the Build a House dies from Lawn Fawn. That's the bottom one in that corner there that I'm showing you. And then here's the gingerbread add-on at the top. As you can see, there are lots of different add-ons for different seasons and occasions. Today, we're just going to be using the gingerbread house add-on. As always, to save some time, I did all of my die cutting off camera and I have it all organized in my little flower dish here. I'm going to ink blend most of these images, so I'm working on one color group at a time. This is for the base gingerbread. I die cut these pieces in craft cardstock and I'm ink blending with some Lawn Fawn dough ink. I'm adding some shading at the top of each of the roof lines and then all around the gingerbread house base. And then I'll work on the gumdrops here using some pink as well as some teal ink. And I also die cut some Christmas trees for our background scene, and I'm going to ink blend that with some jalapeno ink. Now I'll piece them all together, and I do apologize, it's going quite fast, but it's very straightforward. So as you can see here, we have some icing details that were die cut in white cardstock, and I didn't die cut these in white glitter cardstock on purpose because I knew I'd be adding glitter at the end to multiple items, so I thought I would do the white also when I do that as well. So here are some white details that I'm going to be adding to our gingerbread house. It's really adorable. I just think the details on this are so cute, and it's just like royal icing on a regular gingerbread house. And I don't know about you, but I love decorating gingerbread houses. I have 4 kids, so while they're decorating their little houses, I always get myself a house and I will sit there for 6 hours and decorate the entire house by myself. And I just love the way it turns out. And it's kind of like making that on a card, but this is so much quicker and easier, and you get to gift it to someone else, so it's super fun. For the door, I die cut it twice so that I can add a rim around that doorway, kind of like icing also. So I die cut it in white, and then I trimmed off the hinge of the door, if you will, and I'll attach that to the gingerbread house. And I've also put this heart together. It's very small, so I didn't show that on camera. So I'm cutting quite a bit of the work out of the video, but as you can see, it's all coming together so cute, and there are only 3 colors on here right now. Just the pink, a little bit of red, white, and that craft. So for the background, this is the stitched hillside backdrop in the portrait version, and I've die cut these trees, and there are little bases as well that cut out the full trees with the tree trunks. I don't want all of that cardstock, and I don't like it when the craft color is peeking out from underneath the green. So I've trimmed it off so that I only have a little space here for a dab of glue, and then I'll attach my tree to the top of that, and that will be used later on for the background of my card. So there's a little knob detail here, and I'm going to go ahead and add that. And I really should have done this before I started adding all of the white details, but I forgot about it. I even had my markers laying out, and I just forgot to pick them up to do this. But I'm just adding some little dots everywhere to add texture to the gingerbread house. I'm using Copics in 3 different colors, and I started with the dark, went to the medium, and then the light. Now we'll work on the stitched hillside backdrop die. I've die cut it in white, and I'm going to use Peacock Feathers ink. You can use a regular dye ink for this as well, but I wanted to add some color to the hillsides. For the bottom of the hillside here, I added a piece of scrap cardstock in there so I can ink blend the top of that hillside without contaminating the bottom of the top layer of the hillside, if that makes sense. So it's a very quick blend there, and then we will work on a background. Now I wanted to use a purplish pink to kind of coordinate with the pink color from our gingerbread house. So I'm starting with Kish Flamingo, and I'm using a lighter blend at the bottom and center, blending towards the top. And then I'll use Seedless Preserves to blend from the top down just a little bit to create a gradient. Now to create a really good blend, you want to go back to the original color and just blend back and forth until you're happy with the blend. I'm going to use some water and add some spritz on that panel to get some snow-like texture in the background, and then I can attach my stitched hillside backdrop frame over that background. Now we can start piecing everything together. I'm going to start with the gingerbread house. I did tuck it into that bottom hillside just a tad, and then I'll attach my Christmas trees in the background for a winter scene. And then we can go ahead and attach our little candy canes. I'm just piecing those together. I die cut that with white cardstock over red, and I'll also add some texture over the gingerbread men. And then for the gingerbread men, I thought it would be fun to add some little pearls over the details for the eyes and buttons. Pretty Pink Posh has these pearls in all different sizes and colors, so I'm just picking out the smaller sizes from the batches to add over the gingerbread men. And then I also dotted the gumdrops with some Copic markers as well. For the sentiment, I knew I wanted to put a sentiment at the bottom, and I use the Scripty Suite here and die cut it 2 layers in white and 1 layer in metallic rose gold, and I'm attaching them together, and I'm adding glue here just to the bottom of the word sweet because I didn't want it to glue down that layer because I knew I was going to have to tuck all of these little images in place. So I made sure not to add glue everywhere. And now I'm going to tuck all the gumdrops in various places to fill up my scene. And then last but not least, I will add those gingerbread men onto my card. Now, it was kind of tricky. I didn't know where to put these gingerbread men because it was so full down there, but I put one behind the door peeking out and one on the outside on the other side. Now, to add additional interest to this paper pieced card, I am using some clear glaze from Lawn Fawn, and I'm just adding them to areas where I want to add some glitter. So I have some over the rooftops and over the door, candy canes, and gumdrops. And while it's still wet, I'm going to dust all of that with Prisma glitter to give it that sparkle and shine. It's going to add some sparkle on all those details on our gingerbread house and make it look a bit like sugar. Then for the last finishing touch, we have a sentiment that we want to complete. This is the tiny gingerbread stamp, and I want it to say, "Have a sweet Christmas." So this is the perfect sentiment for this. And when I applied the ink, I only applied it to the words "have a" and "Christmas." So you can mask off the sweet word, or you could just eyeball it like I did. And then I'm going to emboss this in white over black cardstock and then attach it to my card. So you'll see all the different ways I added texture on this. We added some ink blending, we added some Copic details, and then we also added little pearls, and then finally some glitter. So that finishes my gingerbread project for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're interested in the products that I used in the color combinations, be sure to check out the links below as well as on the coordinating blog post for this video. Thank you so much for stopping by and have a wonderful day. Bye everyone.